So I'm still lumbered with my parents as we wait out the tail end of the pandemic. And my dad is kind of sad, but he's going through the whatnot shelf and stuff, looking for stuff to divest of, and this turned up. Oh my God! Stephen, 5th birthday, January 4, 1972. Looks like a Polaroid to me, although we're not sure. We're not sure who took it. It's a G.I. Joe talking commander, I'm pretty sure, inside of the helicopter, which you flew with a thumb. And owing from its condition, I'm pretty sure it had just gotten it for Christmas 3 weeks prior, because it's in fantastic shape. Neither of the skids are broken. The helicopter blades all appear to still be there. And one of the most interesting things about the picture is I'm sitting on this pair of shoes. Or am I wearing them? I can't make it out. It's a blanket behind me. We're thinking I'm sitting on a bed, but the white elephant in the issue is what am I holding? And it turns out that what I'm clutching is something I never knew I had. If we go down here to this box sitting there on the bed, I had a Marx Kennedy Space Center Astronaut, which I'm pretty sure was a name for Johnny Apollo, the Marx 7.5-inch articulated action figure, packaged to be sold at Kennedy Space Center down there in Florida. And my grandmother used to go to Florida quite regularly to visit with her brother Nelson for many years, and either nicked this at the gift shop for me or did a catalog order or something, and I was the happiest little boy in the world there on Christmas morning, January 4, 1972, with a Marx Toys Johnny Apollo or Marx Toys Kennedy Space Center astronaut figure. There's the buy. I just opened it up. How about that? Long gone, lost to the sands of time. All the G.I. Joe stuff as well. Even my father lamented that the helicopter is long gone. It didn't last long. It was I know that the rotor or the rear rotor assembly, it did not make it very long at all, and I was flying it around without the rear rotors on for a few years out in the front yard, which was the best place to take it for an adventure. But how about that? I had a Marx Kennedy Space Center Astronaut. We'll have to track it down. Up until I saw this picture and realized what it was, I never knew that I had one. I know that I had the Marx 6-inch figures, and I had the MPC 2-inch and 5.5-inch figures. Major Matt Mason with his space tent and cat track and a space bucket kit, but I never knew I had a Marx Johnny Apollo. Another thing that I had was Space Race. Here are 2 card sets of them. This one is still sealed. This one is open, but it was incomplete. And I had purchased it in New York City in the 1990s and just tucked it aside and completely forgot about it. Since this one is still sealed, you know, I got it. And they are gorgeously decorated. The set was designed in the 1950s by Edu-Cards. I believe they made a whole bunch of different card games. Excuse me again. And the one that I got, obviously, and it would have been soon around the time of the G.I. Joe helicopter and the Marx spaceman in there. Obviously, it's a 1969 repackaging with a lunar module on it. And I'm going to sit down and count the cards and then go online and see what it has to say. Where's the Lost in Space card? That was the one I used to stare at as a kid. and be like, oh my God, he's lost in space. He's floating away from the spaceship. What does he do when his oxygen runs out? Flip through some of them here quickly, stop for fuel. Definitely played the game when we were kids. Brothers and I may be friends over after school. Yeah, this set looks unplayed with. The cards are in beautiful shape. Flight to Saturn. And obviously you can see the 1950s designs reflected in the hardware. Fantastic stuff. And definitely will keep me busy while we figure out what to do about a Johnny Apollo Cape Canaveral Astronaut by Marx Toys, in case you want to dig the rules or whatever, how to play. Do a pause there. Fantastic condition. And we'll do a head count, make sure they're all there. And this is the loose one that's incomplete. I've been meaning to use the images in collages, or the cards in collages in some way. I'm not sure how, and that's why they've remained bagged up and put aside. And of course, there's a still sealed set. Buying back my childhood, one bit of space bling at a time. So here I am trying to get a photograph of the boxes for the thumbnail on the video, and I realized that the one I just got has a barcode on it, which is not consistent with 1969 Edu-Card production. We're going to have to look into this. It's a reproduction of some sort, or a reissuing, or a reprinting. The other two do not have the barcode, and those are authentic 1969 printings, although it is the complete game, I believe, and I'll be able to get to play it, and for $5 I'm set. So there must have been a reprinting at some point, and the vendor did have the image with the barcode as his listing, and there you can see what I paid for it, and now we know why. It actually wasn't a vintage 1969 deck. It was a reprint, or at least the box is reprinted, or something. I'm about to sit down and try to get to the bottom of it. Alright, so what I'll do is to figure out which cards are missing from the vintage set that is incomplete, and substitute in cards from the reprint set, which is complete. And I think it's just one or two cards. It might even just be the instructions. I'll have to go through them side by side somehow and figure out, keep them separated too, and figure out which ones are missing. But then use the reproduction cards in making space art, which was the whole reason to get a second deck in the first place, and it turned out to be sealed, and I was like, whoa! So I wanted one that was complete so I can play the game, but because it's some sort of a reprint, we'll have to shift those around, and that's how we'll work it. Later.